Okay, I run into this probably at least once a year, and usually it ends up happening after I get a new manager, and it never fails. I got another one in here, got a new manager, and complaint is it's on an all-wheel drive. This happens to be a BMW X3, but this could be any all-wheel drive. And what happens is they'll start complaining of a shudder or a noise when you make a turn. And this guy's complaining of a noise, but it is shuddering, and it's more than likely going to be the tires. And they're already arguing with me, and this always happens. They always argue. So let me show you what we're dealing with. The best way to do this is with the stagger gauge, but you can do it with just a tire gauge. And we're going to stick this in here, and we're going to zero this. See if I can do this with one hand. Alright. So, see we're just a little bit off from zero right there, but that's not the big thing. What we'll do is we'll check each tire. You can see it's about 2/10 right there on that one. Or 4/10 on that one. This is where the big one is. It changed on me. Well, you see the difference is 3/32. That's a lot. So that's what the problem is going to be. It's going to be the tires, and they're already arguing with me. It's not the tires. They've already had it at the dealership. The dealership told them that they put an axle in it, that the splines on the hubs were bad, that they needed hubs. There's nothing wrong with the hubs. Let me get away from this radio. Okay, so they spent the time of taking the axles out of it, which I already told them it wasn't going to be a problem, to check the splines on those hubs. Everything was fine. Somebody else told them it needed a transfer case, and I'll put a transfer case in it for them if they want to, but the problem is going to be those tires. And if you don't fix those tires, you can put another transfer case in it, and it'll tear up another transfer case too. It will eventually tear up that transfer case, but probably put a set of tires on it right now, and it'll be okay. You have to have a match set, so he's got to replace all 4 tires, and that's what pisses them off. They don't want to put a whole set of tires on it. Usually what happens is everything will be hunky-dory. They'll have something happen to one of the tires, and they'll change the tire. Then this problem occurs, and they don't think, hey, I just put tires on here and now I got a problem. And then you tell them the tires are the problem, and then they want to argue with you about it. This is what you run into with an all-wheel drive. It's one of the downfalls of it. It's one reason I don't have an all-wheel drive. If you ever do anything to one tire, you got to do it to all 4, and it can get expensive. So it's something to think about when you're dealing with all-wheel drives. Like I said, I get this problem at least once a year, and they'll want to argue with you. They'll argue to blue in the face, and they'll get pissed at you. It ain't my fault. I didn't screw it up. I didn't build this thing this way. I'm just telling you what the problem is. All right, we'll catch you on the next one. Yeah, damn cameras wanting to act stupid. I feel really special because I get to deal with this twice in one week. So we were talking earlier on an all-wheel drive. This one's on a four-wheel drive. And look, we got Coopers, brand new on the front. We got all-terrain Pathfinders on the rear and half worn out. Alright, that one is on a four-wheel drive, and guess what? The complaint is popping noise on hard turns in four-wheel drive. You can't have it on four-wheel drives either. You're going to end up with that problem. So there we go. I get to deal with it twice in 1 week. I already have had a fight with the manager on this BMW and the customer also. I'm sure I'm going to have it on this truck as well. We'll see. Alright, 3 in 1 week. Kind of unusual. You can see that. That's a Michelin right there. I'm not going to go through the tread depth. You can see this is a different tire. You can see this is even a different tire. Hercules. All four of them are different. All of them have different tread depth. And this one here is not shifting properly. And the reason is these tires are all mismatched. It's an all-wheel drive. Okay, we've been talking about all-wheel drives and mismatched tires. And I have had more of these come in the last 2 months than I have had in my entire career. And this one has catastrophic damage. Probably going to have to get a flashlight for this one up here. Broke the engine. You can see right there. Broke the mounts. Broke the brackets. Broke the bracket for the axle there. Broke the transfer case. Broke the transmission. So catastrophic damage. So what you need to do is consult your handy dandy little sticker on your door pillar, or your handy dandy little guide from your owner's manual, and it'll tell you what tires you need to put on your vehicle. And if it's deviated off of that, then you may have issues. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that some vehicles, like a Mercedes, may use different tires on the front than on the back. So you may have 2 different tires that go on the vehicle, and they have to be the ones that go on the vehicle. So you can end up with problems like binding on turns. You can end up with, if you got vehicles with curve recognition software, you can end up with shifting issues, not wanting to upshift, not wanting to downshift, things like that. So it's very imperative that the tires be right. So if you have issues like that, you're going to want to address your tires first. Also don't forget that if your tires are, or even just one of them is overinflated, underinflated, you can end up with the same issues. You can also end up with the same issues if maybe one of your wheel speed sensors is not working properly. So keep all that in mind, and if you have these issues, you might want to check that first. And we're going to get into some other things that are kind of controversial, one of them being batteries. That's a pretty big argument there with the customers and managers and owners as well. So that's a topic for a different day, so we'll get into that at some point. All right, see you on the next video.